Hey guys, my name is Shelly Tran. I'm a senior here at the University of Houston, and I will be graduating with an education degree to teach early childhood through 6th grade. I am currently a student teacher at Hartsfield Elementary in HISD, where I am teaching 1st grade. I was born and raised in Houston until my family moved when I entered high school to League City. Here are my parents. They were high school sweethearts and had me at a very young age. As you can tell, I am Vietnamese, and although I grew up speaking the language fluently, the language I am most fluent in is English. When I was little, I spent more time with my grandparents while my parents worked to provide for me. My grandparents knew very little English, and because of that, I was immersed in the language of Vietnamese from listening to music and watching television. Unfortunately, once I entered public school, I spent more time speaking English and less time speaking Vietnamese. Slowly, I lost the skill to speak fluent Vietnamese. I am able to understand the gist of what people are saying, but can speak very little. When I was 9 years old, my little brother Christopher was born. By then, my household only spoke English. Therefore, Christopher doesn't know any of the Vietnamese language. In middle school, my parents wanted me to learn Vietnamese more again. Once a week, I would go to Sunday school at a Vietnamese church where for a few hours, I would learn about my religion, Catholicism. And for another few hours, I would learn how to read, write, and speak Vietnamese. I can't remember very much what kind of lessons or activities we did because we mainly worked in workbooks. At the time, I dreaded going to these classes and did not apply myself like I should have. I did not take it seriously because when they tested me to see where I was at, I was put in a classroom full of 3rd grade boys when I was a 12-year-old girl. I vaguely remember anything, and if I did learn, because I did not continue to practice, it did not stick in my brain. If I could go back, I would take the classes more seriously because I would love to know my family's language now. In high school, I decided to take French because the language and culture fascinated me. One of my dreams is to travel to a French-speaking country and know the language. I took French my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school. French was my favorite class in high school because it was thrilling for me to learn a language I have never been exposed to before. Tracking my growth and development and knowing how to have a conversation in French was very exciting for me. I remember learning the alphabet, whether words are masculine or feminine, and conjugations. We would do group work and help each other learn the language by doing projects, like brochures. I also remember completing a lot of French homework weekly, which is very important when learning a new language. The role of the teacher was a big part of learning the language. Without a teacher, I don't think I would have the discipline to learn the language on my own. For me, the teacher cleared up a lot of confusion when learning French. I enjoyed learning from my different French teachers and will always remember them. After graduating high school, I have tried to keep it fresh in my mind by using an app called Duolingo, where you can practice a language daily. This app is fun for me to keep the language in my mind, but I know that I will have to practice more than the app in order to learn more French. My teaching philosophy focuses mainly on building relationships with your students. A big reason why I stuck with French is because my teachers were very patient with me and cared for my well-being first and foremost. It made me more willing to learn the language and motivated me to try my best. Like I said before, I believe that in order to learn a language, you must practice consistently and very often. I think the languages are best learned depending on your learning style and past experiences. People may learn best by teaching themselves or with a teacher. A teacher should take into consideration on how much of the language the student knows and how exposed they have been to the language. Although I do believe that learning language in a classroom is very helpful, I am also convinced that if you are fully immersed in the culture that the language is spoken in, you are more likely to learn it faster. Thank you so much for watching.